Today I'd like to give some lessons to either my Asian viewers that don't know their own language or hapas who are actually mixed with Taishanese like myself. Tai Shan is a region in South China and it's quite near the island of Hainan. Hainan is the Hawaii of China, and the people there are darker skinned. They can easily pass for South Asian, and it's a beautiful culture. But Tai Shan, literally it's like a mountainous region. Like Tai Shan actually means like tall mountain, and I think there are two Tai Shans in China. One is a famous mountain, and then the other is the region south of Canton, and that's where my grandparents are from. My grandfather's adopted, so he doesn't really know his blood. But anyways, both of my grandparents grew up in villages nearby, but they were both in Tai Shan. And I actually grew up speaking the language. I remember not knowing a single word when I was like 7-8 years old, when I first moved in with my grandparents. My parents were trying to sort things out. They were divorced, but none of them were in a position to really take care of me at that time. My mother was in university and my father was working, so they had basically handed me over to my grandparents, and eventually I just learned how to speak. I don't even know when the transition was. I just remember at one point not knowing a single word, and then the second point I understood everything. And I guess it just happened, especially with my great-grandmother, by the way, who's not blood. She's the one who adopted my grandfather, but we treated her as our own, and she lived in our house with us, with my grandparents, and all she spoke was Taishanese. She did not speak a word of English. I mean, she knew basics like hi, bye, and good, bad, but that's it, like really basic. Like basically she couldn't speak English, and it used to frustrate me because I didn't understand what she was saying. But eventually, having grown up there, I was fluent by the time I was 12, 13. Yeah, so I think maybe it took a few years, but I don't remember the actual transition. I don't remember going like, oh my gosh, I'm learning more. I guess it just gradually happened where I just was speaking every day, and then I understood everything. It's really weird because once I've moved out of Canada and I don't speak to my grandparents anymore, and I don't know anyone who speaks Taishanese, I feel like I've lost a lot of it. But when I'm back in Canada and I stay with my grandmother for like a week or two, it all comes back. But it's frustrating because sometimes I'll forget like certain vocab words, and sometimes I'll forget how to say certain things, but I'll just ask her and she'll tell me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'll be able to like form my sentence. But pretty much I'm still fluent, but I definitely would like to try and hang on to that more. So if you speak Taishanese, please comment below, and I would love to make more friends who are actually either mixed with Tai Shan or that speak Taishanese to converse with, because that's really important to me, to keep my languages. So I would like to teach, I want to have a bit of a lesson today and kind of have an introductory lesson on Taishanese. So Taishanese, as you know, it's a minority dialect in China, and the weird thing is a lot of the first immigrants that came to the Western countries all were from Tai Shan. But globally, like on a scale on China, Tai Shan is a very small minority, and like less than 0.5% speaks it or whatever. But the odd thing is these villagers, like total villagers, are the ones who paved the road, as someone said on the subreddit forum when I was asking on the Hapa's forum of who spoke what Asian language. Someone said, yeah, the hillbillies of China. It's true, that they really, really broke the ice here for the rest of the Chinese immigrants, regardless of where they came from. So anyways, I'm going to teach you colors and like how to count. I think that's the most basic thing, right? So I know that I'm going to actually say stuff in Cantonese and Mandarin too. I know very little Mandarin and very little Cantonese, but I do know how to count to 10 in both languages. So you guys can kind of hear the difference between the main two dialects of China and Taishanese. So we'll start with Mandarin, which is the most common dialect. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the language. I'm not a native speaker and my family does not speak Mandarin. So 1 to 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That's 1 to 10. Cantonese is, I'm sorry again if I'm getting this wrong. Yat yi sam say look sap but go sap. I think my intonation's off because I don't speak. And in Taishanese, it's yi ni lam li look tit but gu sip. So you can kind of hear the difference. A lot of people compare Taishanese to Hakka, but I don't fucking understand a word of Hakka. And everyone says that, but I think the only commonality is them being kind of close together geographically and maybe the culture. But I don't understand Hakka, and I think the food may be similar, but I don't know why people say it, because when people speak Hakka to me, I'm like, what? What are you saying? So anyways, that's 1 to 10. Taishanese has this gross phlegmy sound. I don't think it's gross because I grew up speaking it, but it can sound really harsh to other people. Like there's a lot of in the language, and probably that's why the government was like, no, I don't want this as a common dialect. It's villagey, it's hillbilly, you're Hicks. Die, like kill it off. But I mean, there's so many people who still speak it because they are being passed down the language, like me. But it's dying out too, and that kind of makes me sad, because I don't want my language to die out. I want it to be living still, because if it dies out, then no one will speak it anymore, and then it will become like a dead language, and that's weird. So colors in Chinese, like in Taishanese, it ends with set, but you have to say set because set means color. So when you say a color, you can't just say blue. It's like the equivalent of saying, oh, that's the blue color, that's the yellow color, you have to say sit at the end of it, because with Chinese there's so many words that have more than one meaning. Like one word can have literally like 3 different meanings, or maybe more, I don't know, but there's a lot of words with double meanings, like depending on the intonation and the context, it can mean completely different things. Like the word for in Chinese is notoriously bad luck, because it also means death. So the Chinese are super anal about not having the word, well, the superstitious ones, and most of them are superstitious, and not having the word for in their license plates or their phone numbers or their houses. And if you have to have the number 4 in your house, it shouldn't be the predominant number in the house number. So it could be like within the house number, but still it's preferable that you just avoid the number 4 altogether, because it's like a bad omen, because it means death, the end of things. So the word for is li, and it's also like a swear word, because it's like when Taishanese swear, it's like the most common linking swear word. Aya lilo. It's like aya in Chinese, it exists in all the dialects. Aya, it's like, oh my god, aya, oh shit, kind of like fuck. Lilo is like, oh my god. I guess it's like fuck. There's so many swear words in Taishanese, so much more than the other 2 dialects. I think because they were villagers, you know, the more slang, the more, you know, ghetto, and they got all these like slang words. I have never heard such derogatory and fucked up curse words until I learned them in Taishanese, and you translate them into English, and parents say these to their children like on a normal regular basis, but when you translate it into English, it's like, oh my god, that is so verbally abusive, you should have called the cops on your parents. But in Chinese, the curse words that you even like curse to your children, it's normal, it doesn't sound like that. And it's the same with Indian, with Hindi as well, Indian dialects like Hindi, Bengali, Urdu. I know that they have very similar curse words, like I'll skin you alive and this and that. Like in English it sounds horrific, but in an Asian culture it's like normal. It's like, oh yeah, it's like your mom just telling you off. that she's going to chop your head off and chop your limbs off, and you know, yeah, it's normal. So what was I gonna say? So yeah, so hli is not a good number because it means step. Another example of oh yeah, I went on a tangent. So we're supposed to do colors. So when you say colors, it always has sit at the end of it. So I'll teach you. Green is look sit. And when you say, I think the biggest issue that Westerners have trying to learn a Chinese dialect is the intonation. Your tone of voice is everything. Mandarin, a lot of the tone goes down. Cantonese, a lot of the time goes up. In Taishanese, it's a bit of a mix of both. But when we say colors, it goes up. Lam set, lam means blue. Lam set, that's blue. Green, look set. Orange, chang set, and chang literally means orange, like in English, the fruit and the color. Chang set. Purple, du set. It's also known as ji set, but you can say du set. Pink, fun hong set. Fun hong is like a mixture of red, because hong is red. So red, hong set. Hong also means, like when you say Hong Yin, red people, that also means Chinese. So when you say Ni Hong Yin ma, does that make sense? Yeah. Are you Chinese? Are you a red person? Hong Yin, red person. I think it's the communist thing, right? Yeah, it must be. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm just like rambling. White, bakset, is same with white people. You call them bak nyin. White people. Nyin means people. Nyin also means grandmother. See? Black, hakset, hak nyin. That's also black person. Yellow. Oh my god, what's yellow? See, I told you, I knew this would come up. Yellow. Wongset. Wongset's yellow. Did I say them all? Brown, gafe set. Gafe literally means coffee. So brown means, basically coffee is the way we say brown. It literally means coffee, gafe. Yeah, those are all the basic colors. I think I've went all over the basic colors. Yeah, I'm not going to go into other shades because I don't know them. But what else? Words that have double meanings. Okay, ngao. Ngao is also a curse word. It's like you're crazy. Ngao, like you're mental. It also means cow. So when you call someone ngao ngao, you're like calling them crazy, but it also means like cow, like stupid, silly, crazy hapa or something. But yeah, that's a common name to call people in a derogatory kind of way. Ngao lo. My grandmother literally called my grandfather that, like instead of calling him husband, she called him ngao lo. Ngao lo. Lo is like old man. Ngao is crazy. Crazy old man. Yeah. But you're supposed to call your husband lo gong, like old man husband. I don't know why the lo. And then wife is lo pu. It's like means wife, but it's like older woman. I don't know. Okay, so you is ni. In Cantonese it's ne, and in Mandarin it's also ni. I or me in Taishanese is ngoi. A lot of Western people have a trouble pronouncing the ng. It's just like the end of sing or song, bring, ngoi, bringing. If you can say bringing, you should be able to say ngoi. But a lot of people have trouble starting a word with ng, and I don't know why. It's the same ngao ngao. It's the same thing. It's the ng. So I, me, myself, in Taishanese is ngoi. In Mandarin it's wo. And in Cantonese it's ngo. Yeah, that's the difference. When you say something's like, the only time you say ngoi alone is like ni, when you're just saying ni, ngoi. But when you're like connecting it to something else, like mine, you say ngoiga. Yours, niga. Theirs, regardless if it's a female or male, we don't have feminine, masculine in Chinese. Theirs, kuika. In Cantonese, it's koi. Yeah, and we say kui. Sorry, my friend called and we're drinking. Need a drink. I always need a drink. So anyways, what was I saying? So, to eat, Cantonese people would say nei se fan ma. Nei se fan ma. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm not a Cantonese speaker, but I know they say nei se. Se is to eat in Cantonese. And it also sounds like color, right? See? It's weird. In Mandarin, I think it's ni shi fan ma. Yeah, I think that's what they say. In Taishanese, it's ni hea fan ma. Ni hea. Hea means, see, it's more harsh. Hea is to eat. And fan is rice, like cooked rice. Ma is when you ask a question. Always, whenever you're asking questions, you have to put ma at the end of it, or you're not asking a question. Like when you ask, how are you? Ni hao ma. In Cantonese, it's nei hao ma, and then Mandarin is ni hao ma. You see how it goes down? Ni hao ma, and we say ni hao ma. What else? We say ni ugi ma. Ugi means like hungry. Animals. Dog. My doggy here, my little doggy, she's Chinese, by the way. She's a pug. Pugs were, for those of you who don't know, were bred for the imperial families of China. And she's so spoiled, and that's why she's spoiled, because she's got thousands of years of pampering coursing through her veins. She's a palace pug. She's a palace pug. Dog, gao. Gao doi. Dog. Cat, mew doi. Cow, ngao. Chicken, gai or gai doi. Doi is kind of like cutesifying it. It's like this little, it's more of a little thing. God, I can't remember anything. Butterfly, vudip. Vudip means butterfly. And that's all I have for you today. I will do another lesson, more organized, I guess. What do you guys want to learn about? I don't even know if this video is going to be popular because Taishanese is so not popular, but for those of you who are interested, what kinds of things do you want to learn? I'll do it for my next lesson. If I have I'll do a next lesson if this video calls for it. If people want another lesson, I'll do another lesson, and tell me what you want in that lesson and I'll be happy to do it. Anyways, love you all, gotta go, bye.